Today is going to be an exciting day. And because today we are going to be talking to someone that works across a variety of different industries, from ski and snowboarding industry to agricultural, saws and metalworking. And she's going to be able to enlighten us about marketing in all those different areas and how we can improve our marketing for the future. But before we get started, my name is Donna Peterson, and you're listening to the B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast. I go around the world speaking with owners, marketing managers, and directors about marketing. Marketing is changing so fast. We all must stay current. We must continue to evolve, and we must be embracing all the new technologies that are coming available. So today, my guest is Tracy Beers. She is the marketing manager at Wintersteiger. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Hi, Donna. Great. Thanks for having me here.
Oh, well, I love having you. Of course, you're in that passion world of mine of skiing, which I love. But then you're also in that industrial side. So this is a very fun interview for me today.
Awesome. I'm super excited.
Good, good. So my first question for you, because I know Wintersteiger, I believe, just celebrated their 70th anniversary, correct?
That is correct. 70 years, 1953. Wintersteiger started in Austria. And that's where we're still headquartered today. Here in the US, we have offices all across the US, but our headquarters is in Salt Lake. And I am coming to you from Vermont.
Nice, nice. 70 years, that's quite a compliment, especially with everything we've seen over the years and what's happened in the economy and the world. It's great to see that the brand has been able to survive this long.
Part of our success has certainly been our, our diversity. Like you said, we're across multiple areas of expertise, but what ties all of our divisions together is precision engineering and mechanical engineering. And, we make precision equipment for specific niches. The niches just happen to be sports or agriculture or metals or very diverse, but nonetheless precise for sure.
Interesting. So one of the things I always hear from some of my legacy brands are, Donna, we don't need to market ourselves. We're a legacy brand. Why is it important for Wintersteiger to still be out there enhancing their brand?
Oh gosh, I don't think you should. We could talk for hours on this. I truly feel like we constantly need to continue educating ourselves and innovating and growing. And in fact, even at Wintersteiger, our motto is thinking about tomorrow. Like that is where we go with everything. We try to think towards the future with
I love that motto. That's a great motto.
Yes, yes. But that being said, really it's strategic. It ensures our brand remains competitive. It ensures our brand remains relevant. And it just positions us for future success.
Interesting. Well, and I have to tell you, this past weekend, I was at a high school reunion, and it just so happens one of the people there who I'm good friends with, he is a ski technician. And so I said, "Oh, do you know the brand Wintersteiger?" He goes, "Of course I do. Everybody does." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'm doing a podcast interview with them on Tuesday." And it was just interesting. So obviously your brand does have legs, and everyone who's in that space knows it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We're certainly most well known in most parts of the world for the sports division, which is our ski services machines, ski tuning machines, things to do with ski tuning boots, ski boots, things like that. But our number 2 division is our agriculture division, where we make precision equipment for seed breeders and agronomists that help ensure, the food sustainability in the world today, today and going forward. So that's our number 2 division that we're known for worldwide. And then behind that comes probably our metals division would be, and then our wood division. But whenever anyone sees the name Wintersteiger, they always think it's always, oh, the ski tuning company. I'm like, well, yes, but
yeah. Well, I have to tell you, the name Wintersteiger makes you think Austria. Of course, when you think Austria, you think ski,
Yes,
so I can see that. Now, this is a little, I don't know if you can tell me this. Were all the divisions started at the same time or?
yeah, no. It initially started out with precision equipment for agriculture.
Okay.
So the precision space planter and some combines and things like that, because where we are headquarters in Austria, Upper Austria is very agricultural,
Okay.
culturally focused. And then from there, it went on to probably, gosh, what was it? 10 years later, we started with the wood stuff, which was thin cutting band saws for which ended up being initially used by Fisher Skis for ski manufacturing for the wood cores for skis. But then very shortly thereafter, parquet flooring and wood laminate flooring started
how
to
interesting.
become a
Yeah.
thing. And
Yeah.
so that's what really made that division take off, was parquet flooring in the 70s. And our machines are some of the thinnest kerf machines on the market, so minimizes waste and it's
Wow.
more efficient, more economic. So that was the second division to start. It started, well, third, I guess. I don't know, started with agriculture, then went to sports, then went to wood tech, and then metals was actually just added as a division in 2011. So
Okay, so it's new. It's
yeah,
relatively new.
yeah.
That's interesting because it obviously Wintersteiger was into that whole sustainability, environmental consciousness before it became the big thing like now.
Yes, absolutely. And they were very much and maybe it's because we're European based and that Europeans think about food sustainability more
Yeah.
than Americans do, just because of the geography and the lack of open farmland like we have here in the US, or open grazing area for cattle and things like that. But certainly they have been forward thinkers from the start with relation to the products they develop and the divisions they develop, for sure.
And that's nice for you to be working with a brand like that, because what I do find, and I'm sorry to say, is I see companies who are all like ESG, but it's like, are you really? Or are you just saying it? Are you just putting sustainability out there, but you're really not doing anything? And I have a problem with that when they don't walk the talk. And obviously Wintersteiger is, because it was at your core before it even became those buzzwords.
Yes.
Or initiatives.
And in fact, so our metals division, which is actually a company named Kohler, which is the reason you and I met, but the metals division, the pride of our division is completely based around sustainability, because our parts levelers use no hydraulic fluid whatsoever. So they're much more
that's a good marketing piece for you,
Yes.
I'm getting some very good marketing tidbits that you need to use. Because you're saying all the right words. So now, across all these different industries, and since you are the marketing manager here in the US, have you found any commonalities across the different industries?
I have, yes and no. I have found commonalities in that even though we have multiple divisions, they're all making precision machines and precision equipment. So there's that commonality right off the bat. But I do find whether we have products in common or don't have products in common across the divisions, I still utilize the same principles. I still utilize the same thing. I still rely on content marketing. I still rely on relationship building. I still rely on email marketing. Like I always refer back to the basics. SEO.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel for each division.
You're
Those
not going to just drop everything and just do social media posts?
not this year.
That's next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
still,
that's the part I think sometimes people don't get when we're in the industrial space like ourselves. It has to be handled a certain way, but like you just said, you have to be out there thinking of it in different areas. Think about the email marketing or the relationship building, content marketing, SEO, everything.
yeah. And there's lots of bright, shiny objects that come into my view. And over the, every year there's new bright, shiny objects that I would love to explore further, or initially think I should explore further. But no matter what, it always comes back to, kind of 4 or 5 core things that I've been doing all along that I can change slightly, or adapt, update, and they still are what are driving the most traffic, hands down.
Well, when you're talking about engineering, when you dive into that title specifically, they don't want fluff. They want you to get down to the meat of it. And, you're just telling them about the piece of equipment you have, which won't change, or maybe will change a little bit over the years, but the base is there of the Wintersteiger and their equipment that they have.
Yeah. So, funny story, when I started doing the metals marketing part of it, the first go around with any sort of campaigns for a year, I was trying to be like a little fluffy or creative, or trying to, and it was just meh, like met with results. The second year on the job, my campaign was stop wasting money, start leveling parts. It was ridiculously more effective than anything else.
You talk to them about what they want to hear. They want to stop wasting money.
Yeah.
I think I must have, maybe I took it from you, but a lot of times with us, we do a lot of, save time and save money. Don't start doing all these crazy marketing things. And like we all know, years ago, it used to be just send out a big, broad promotion to everybody, and everyone got the same thing. And with a one-off promotion, you would get all the leads and sales you need. And that has changed.
Yes, for sure. Specializing and really personalizing has made all the difference in the world these days, I find, with our marketing. The more we can specialize and personalize it exactly for the needs of the person that we're marketing to, the better results we get, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And back to your last point about the shiny objects, come on, this year with AI, oh my goodness, I get new shiny objects every day and it's driving me crazy.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree.
But I still think, even with all the shiny objects, I set up this AI worksheet now so that companies can keep track of all their AI tools and then register how much are they actually using it after the first week. The first week everyone uses it, thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread. And then it peters out and they're like, no, you know what? We're better off without it. So
yes, I think that's a great idea, and could be used, across multiple tools, for multiple businesses.
Yeah, what's interesting is I have it set up now where the whole team has the worksheet. Everyone has to report in. And a lot of it is what the tool is, what are its benefits, what's the cost, and then, okay, everyone put down how much you use it. And I always say, start with a month. Sometimes you obviously need longer to assess it, but start with a month. Do you need it? And then now with all these AI tools coming out, they're starting to overlap. How much do the tools overlap with each other? Because why waste your marketing dollars on things that, they're 80% overlapping. So don't need them.
Yes, that's a big struggle for us as well. And with having multiple divisions, obviously there's multiple players in each division, and lots of overlap.
Well, yeah, because I can imagine people have their personal favorites.
Yeah.
That they want. So when we were talking about, one-off promotions, why should brands set up more of an omni-channel type campaign to target their specific audience?
I am a huge proponent. I don't know if you're familiar with, I'm sure you're a marketer, you have to be familiar with Jeffrey Lant and his quote about the rule of seven. I live and die by the rule of seven. Although, I mean, certainly
Wasn't it Kevin Bacon? Like,
yes, 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 exactly.
see, I'm very simple.
I always think of Kevin Bacon when I'm thinking of the rule of seven.
Okay, so there we go.
But for anyone out there who's listening who doesn't know the rule of seven, it basically talks about how the prospect needs to see or hear your marketing message at least 7 times before they're inspired to take action.
Yeah.
So, and obviously that varies by industry. We in the manufacturing sector know that it's a marathon for us, not a sprint. So it's usually probably way more than 7 for industrial manufacturing.
Yes.
But
yeah, the larger pieces of equipment, more people involved in the decision making. Yeah, I would say it's more than 7, but yeah.
Yeah. But that being said, delivering that marketing message from multiple touch points, it just helps to deliver a consistent brand experience. It gives you data-driven insights and results.
Yeah.
Improved customer engagement, higher conversion rates. It helps you to enhance personalization or efficiently allocate resources. So I think that just omni-channel marketing, no matter what you hear about it most in retail, I feel, but I feel like it's a principle that applies to marketing in every aspect of the world.
I totally agree with you. And I'll go to different trade shows and some will say, all you need is inbound marketing, or all we need is social media. And I'm, of course, being in our space with industrial, and they're usually expensive, pieces of equipment. It can't be just one. People aren't going to buy a precision metalworking piece of equipment because they saw that Facebook post and that was what they needed. It's not going to work like that. And I agree with you. It has to be omni-channel. And now you've got to put in that component of educating.
Yes.
Like you were just saying, how, when it worked for you, those social posts, is because you said, this is going to save you money because of those tools, and you educate them on how the machine works and how good for the environment. You don't use as much wood. Those are the types of things you need to educate them on.
Yes. Yes. Education and communication are the 2 foundations for everything I do. I try to keep that in the back of my mind when I'm doing all my planning, and that as long as I keep those 2 things in mind, I can deliver a consistent brand message that actually makes sense and answers the questions that my prospective customers have.
Yeah, that's great. Educating and communications. That's so much better than people just worrying about that bottom line of sell. Yeah. And a lot of, sometimes top management says, no, you know what? I want you to just promote our product, get the price out there, get them. And I'm like, no, calm down a minute, educate, communicate, like you said, get your messaging out there on different channels. And that's when you start to build that relationship that instills the trust.
Yes. Yes. You want to be the person they think of when they have a question, or because you were able to describe so many other facets of something they were interested in effectively and in a manner that they could understand. You want to be the expert in the field.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do with my marketing as much as possible. Not make it salesy, make it attraction marketing.
Yeah. Well, you're informing them because nowadays, you and I discussed earlier, there's just so much garbage, wasted marketing space out there. People are just not thinking about their marketing strategically, and they're just crowding the space, and it's overwhelming for people to make decisions.
Yes, for sure. Thankfully for us in the industrial world, it's not quite as crowded and as bombarding. Just I think it's the nature of the industry being maybe a little older and more mature or less social, or I'm not sure what it is, but we are experiencing it as well. It's not that we're not experiencing it. We're probably just not as experiencing it as much as, say, retail clothing or,
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Well, I know one thing for us World Innovators, we're a 43-year-old B2B marketing company, and our premise was always quality over quantity. And I don't want to say COVID helped us. I don't think COVID helped anyone, but there was the switch on the B2B side more to quality over quantity, because if you want your marketing to work, you have to really know and understand your audience and offer that quality content that speaks directly to them.
Yes, authentic exchange. Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're doing. And obviously I can see why you're very good at what you're doing there at Wintersteiger.
Thank you.
So now I wanted to ask you a question. Oh, so I was going to say, with you putting out your educational piece of information, I'm like, okay, so you want to be at your high school reunion speaking to a ski technician. You say Wintersteiger, and they're like, of course I know Wintersteiger.
Where we are struggling a little is that because Wintersteiger has is a brand that does so many different things. I'm still trying to strategically organize our social media channels so that we're talking to the right consumers, because if I try to communicate a general brand message across any of our channels, I get blowback that says Wintersteiger makes ski tuning equipment. Like half of North America doesn't realize we make other things. So
Set up days. Have you tried that? Like, topic days. So Mondays are agricultural day, Tuesday. That way, at least the people who are following you will know, okay, Monday, they're going to be talking about my topic that I'm interested in. Like I mentioned, I always do a LinkedIn Live usually on Tuesday. So now my followers know Tuesday afternoon, I'm probably going live on a topic.
Yep.
And they pay attention.
That's a really good idea. The other thing, which is kind of what brought us together, was that I created Facebook groups.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
For my on the sports side of it, it was for my ski tuning technicians, owners and operators of our ski tuning machines, because our machines are so technologically advanced, and they're automated. Most of them are automated machines these days. I found that having the conversations about these machines, like in the general social media space, wasn't worth it. It didn't make a lot of sense to the general consumer who is seeing the posts, and just there was so much other stuff for the owners and operators to wade through to try to find it. It was not efficient manner to have conversations with these people, to deliver information, to educate them, whatever it may be. So I created a Facebook private group for Wintersteiger sports owners and operators, and it's been steadily growing, and it's turned into this wonderful space
where they share. Do they share with each other?
They do. They constantly,
nice.
Like, someone will hop on there and be like, hey, this is happening to my ski when I do this. How do I fix this? Or has anyone else experienced this? Or how do I get a program, give me some ideas how to program this particular pattern on the bottom of the ski, or something like that, which is all gobbledygook to the general public that wouldn't understand if they were seeing this kind of conversation. So it's enabled a nice private forum where they can exchange amongst themselves, but it's also given me a real
insight
way to monitor it, and a gateway to keep any kind of negative commenting out of the public sphere, if and when that happens, which does not happen often, but you never know, occasionally.
But it also must, because you're listening in on the conversation, it can give you some great ideas for marketing that will really resonate with them.
And quite honestly, that was the real reason I created it in the first place.
Oh, you weren't just being nice.
Like, I can listen in on their conversations. I can figure out what their pain points are. Like I really, my ulterior motive was to get to know my customers better and, figure out a way to figure out what their problems were and a way to answer and how I could address these problems. But the flip side was that it also gave them a great space to
It was
talk.
a win-win.
Yes, yes.
It was a win-win for both of you because now they don't have to cut through all the clutter. And isn't it, sometimes it's even better when you can speak to people outside of Wintersteiger about your pieces of equipment, because they might also do it in terms that are understood better. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, more of a social setting.
Yes. Yeah.
Not a salesy, like we never do sales pitches there. We never do, like, I mean,
Good.
I'll do product release kind of things, but there's no hard sell. It's just like, hey, this is the new product that's coming out, that kind of thing. Or don't forget you might want to order this, this, and this because this is going on right now and things like that. But it's not, we don't use that as a selling platform per se. So.
Good. It sounds like a great way. That's very interesting, a Facebook group, but I could see that for those technicians. Now, have you tried that at all with the other industries?
I have not tried it yet across the other industries. I think it could work well for our agricultural industry because I find a lot of times the ag people are constantly posting pictures of their big machines on social media, but it tends to be Instagram, not Facebook.
How interesting.
Totally shocked me.
Yeah, that would shock me because, of course, industrial brands, I'm thinking LinkedIn, but I know we get a lot of activity on Instagram also.
Yeah.
We don't have great pictures. Well, we have great pictures, but, not big piece of equipment,
right.
Thing like that. So it's very interesting in figuring out. But here, you just brought up a great point that I love to say to people when they say, but Donna, how can I handle all these different social media channels? Sometimes if you do your research, you don't need to because your audience might be more responsive on Instagram versus LinkedIn.
Right.
So concentrate on the channels where they're at first.
Yeah. You have to meet your customers where they're at. I mean, finding where that is might be a little bit of a challenge, but determining.
It does take time and there's no easy fix. I think people sometimes want that magic bullet of, okay, if I do this, this will work. And we all know marketing's not like that. It's about testing, trying it out. And I like to say it's like a puzzle. You put it all together and then sometimes that puzzle falls on the floor and you have to start over again. Because things change in our economy. Like, look what happened with COVID. That really changed a lot of things in marketing, even whether it was in-person events to now doing all the Zoom, whether it was, digital marketing became so popular. Learning how to do it strategically, which is an art, has to be top of mind for a lot of companies.
Yeah, for sure. It's constantly changing.
Constantly. So my last question to you is, and I don't know if you've thought about this, is what do you feel is going to be the biggest marketing challenge for each of your divisions in 2024?
Oof, gosh.
And don't say getting the work done.
That's the first thing that came to mind.
I need to have 8 arms.
I love the memes that are all over LinkedIn about marketing and show pictures of SpongeBob with 8 arms doing 10 different things.
See, there, I didn't even see that one yet, and I was already doing it. Because that's what I wish I had in my life.
For sure. I think our biggest struggle, is sort of related to what we just mentioned, but it's resource allocation, like how to strategically plan, where to strategically place our resources, just like we talked about earlier with AI and all the new, how many different AI platforms there are. Yeah, absolutely. AI has to be part of your strategic plan, but where, how, like what's
Yeah.
the most effective use of your money in that sphere? So um, I think that, next year and going forward to the future, it's always going to be resource allocation is probably our biggest challenge.
Yeah, I can see that. I've heard that from a few people. I know when I've spoken at trade shows or I've talked to people, when you go to give a speech, and I've talked about AI and Chat GPT, and I said, well, I'm going to show people how I actually use the tools. And they're like, yes, that's what everyone needs. Don't just say, okay, you got Chat GPT out here, you got Bard, you could go content where. No, stop and show us how you use it so that we can start thinking in our brains, do we need it?
Yeah.
And then I'll recommend to people, I like this one because of this. It doesn't work for me because of that. It just gets people thinking so that they can maybe cut out some of those AI tools they don't
Yes.
need to worry about, and just pinpoint on the ones that are really going to help them get things done faster in 2024 and be more strategic and do quality marketing.
Yeah.
Well, Tracy, I want to thank you so much. This was a great conversation. And, like I
I
always
could
say,
talk to you for hours, honestly.
I was going to say the same thing, except I don't know. I would prefer it to be on a chairlift, but okay.
Next time.
If we have to do it this way, okay. But I think next time, maybe the viewers would like to see our chat from a chairlift, except it might be like,
little wind whipping in the background.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And I wish you all the success in the future.
Thank you, Donna. I really appreciate you inviting me to be on your podcast.
You're welcome. Bye.
Take care.
Thank you for listening to the B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast. Please hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss our next episode. And in the meantime, if you'd like to talk to me, please feel free to send me an email to dpeterson@worldinnovators.com. Till next time, have a great day.